Hey St. Louis Boxing Club, I'm Heather, and this is your quick lower body stretch. No equipment needed, just you and some space. When you're ready, we're gonna start in child's pose. So find your shins, toes together, knees as far apart as it feels good. Walk down, find this really nice stretch. So even though this can be great for the upper body, it's great for the lower body too. Hips reach towards the heels, you've got a nice bend in the knees for the quads. For some, it could even be a lot for the top of the feet. We're gonna take a walk over towards the right side, get this nice stretch in and around that left glute, left hip. Add a little press of that hip towards the heel, and then come back in center, take it to the other side. So now walk right, or walk to the left, but walk with the right fingertips away from that right hip that's pressing towards the heel. One more time, come back in center, take a breath, pause, and then walk your hands up. Try to keep the hips back towards the heels and curl the toes under. So we're gonna get a little stretch through the feet. So attempt to stack shoulders up on top of hips. This could be really dramatic and feel like a big stretch. So take what you can, lean back as far as it works. And then when you're ready, let's transition and find a downward facing dog. So plant the palms, pike the hips up. You have a ton of space from hands to feet. Feet are about hip distance apart. Let's find a little pedal here. So it's a great way for us to start to open up the backside body a little bit, get into calves, get into hamstrings. You can keep as much bend in the knees as you need in your downward facing dog. I want it to be more about the hamstrings and less about your back. So you want the back to feel pretty neutral here. All 10 finger pads press down into the floor. Let's go through that toe stretch 2 more times. So set both knees down, set the hips back, keep the toes curled under. Come back, try to take a pause here. Hopefully with each repetition, it gets a little bit better, a little easier. Try to stack shoulders up on top of hips. And then make that transition again. Find your downward facing dog. Maybe this time lift both heels up high, get on tip toes, and then press the heels down. 2 more times, find that big stretch, big reach. And the last time, let's set the knees down, set the hips back. Find that toe stretch. Set the shoulders up on top of the hips. Take a breath here. And then lift the hips up, release. Find your tall kneeling. Let's step forward with the right foot. Find a little low lunge here. So for some, keeping this 90-degree angle is gonna be plenty. It's a lot for these left hip flexors. That's what we're going for here. But try to stack the shoulders up on top of the hips. If it works, keep the abdominals engaged and then maybe find a little lean into that lunge. It doesn't have to be dramatic, but it does start to feel a little bit like more of a stretch on that left side. Open up through the chest space, take a breath here. Again, keeping a gentle engagement of the abdominals so we really hold on to that origin and attachment of those muscles on the hip flexors. Take the left fingertips down, reach the right fingertips up, get a little twist here. We're still into that hip flexor. We're gonna gain a little quad here. This could be enough. If it is, stay. Or option to bend that left knee, maybe reach back with the right hand. Now, one way to get better access is to bring the hips back as far as you can, then bend the knee, see if you might connect with the foot, and then hug back into those hips just a little bit. So again, it's just fine if you just bend the knee and you're still reaching up or reaching back and there's no connection. Take a breath and then release that out. Come back to your tall kneeling, straighten through your right leg. So let's get into the hamstring a little bit. Calf 2, toes up towards the sky, hinge at the hips. So you'll feel with every little inch, you get a little bit more stretch. We want the back to be nice and long. This is perfect. This might be exactly where you stay. Or if you can keep the knee straight, fingertips could come to the floor. Heart reaches through while that heel digs in and the right hip hugs back. Take a couple breaths. So with each stretch, if you've got a problem area, it doesn't take a lot to really make a difference. The thought is even if you're doing 5 minutes a week on one area, so if hamstrings are a big deal for you, 1 minute, 5 days a week should really start to make a difference. So it doesn't take a huge time commitment. Walk it back up. Now take that heel over outside of you. We're gonna get into this inner thigh. So plant the palms down, lift the knee up, bring it a couple inches to the side, keep that heel digging in. Again, this might be enough. Everyone's shape is gonna look different. If it works, the hips go back towards that left heel. So we've just added a little something to our child's pose, then you could lean forward. Again, you might have been just fine with that very first part of the position. Be patient with wherever you are. Take a deep breath. If that heel's digging in, try to get the toes higher to the sky. You can always manipulate where the left foot is to change the stretch, make it more intense or less intense. Big breath in. Big breath out. Walk back to the hands, come back to the knees. Let's do the other side. I'm gonna flip. So step forward with the left foot this time. Again, finding that 90-degree angle at the left knee, the left hip, and then finding this nice long line on the right side. Being upright could be enough. Wherever you are, add a gentle hug of the abdominals in, and then maybe add a little hug into that low lunge. Keep that hip to rib energy, keep the chest up, breathe into the hip flexors. And then right hand can come down, left sweeps up, get a little twist in it. We're still in the hip flexors, we're into the quad a bit. Option to bend that right knee, this might be enough, stay, or if you can find the connection, go for that. Always okay to push that hip back to see if it makes it easier to connect with the foot. Add a little push-pull, hand into foot, foot into hand. Release it out, come up. Dig the left heel in. Nice straight leg, hands on the hips, hinge at the hips. Reach the heart through, dig the heel in, reach the toes towards the sky. Again, this could be a great place to stay, or fingertips could find the floor. Dig that heel in, reach the heart through wherever you are. Be patient with side to side, definitely feeling it more on one side than the other, likely. Keep breathing. Stay another breath, dig that heel in, pull the hip back, reach the right hip forward. And then walk it back up, take the left heel out to the side, and then bring the hands down, open up that right knee just a bit. Again, this might be enough getting into the inner thigh, stay, or maybe rock the hips back just a bit, or all the way down to that heel. Find that really nice inner thigh stretch in this child's pose. Dig the left heel in, change the position of the heel, either forward or back to intensify the stretch or decrease it. Big breath in. Big breath out. Walk up. Bring that knee back underneath you. Come to your back. Let's get a couple more stretches in. So find the back, step into the feet, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So finding this figure 4 stretch might be enough right here. Maybe a little pressure with the right hand into the thigh feels good. Or take the shape, lift it up. Take hold of the hamstring or maybe even the shin on the left. Flex the right ankle, spread the toes. One more baby change that can make a difference is to rock over to the left just a little bit. Opens up the back of that hip. Relax with the head, neck, and shoulders. If taking this shape up made you flex up through the torso to get to it, lay it back down and set that left foot back down and just concentrate on that figure 4. Come back in center, let's switch sides. So step into both feet, cross left ankle over right. Again, if this feels like enough and this is a pretty dramatic stretch, stay. Or if you can lift the shape up while still keeping the upper body calm, lift it up, grab the hamstring or the shin. Flex this left foot, so toes come towards the knee, intensifies it a little bit, and maybe even a little rock of the legs over towards the right. Really opens up that left hip. Breathe. Come back in center. Keep the right knee bent, hug it into the chest, let the left leg go long. Let's stay in with the glutes. Left hand comes to that right thigh, bring it across the body, anchor your right shoulder, look right. So really getting into that glute still, bonus spinal rotation here. Come back in center, switch sides, so left hugs in, right goes long, right hand takes that left knee, bring it across the body, anchor the left shoulder, look over to your left. Come back in center, do a full body stretch, reach fingertips to toes, arch the back a little, and then hug the knees into the chest, rock it all the way up. Nice work with lower body, see you soon.